Oh, we're going live a little earlier right now, just because I've got someone coming just to give me a quote for some garden work that I need doing. I just need loads of stuff clearing out, and unfortunately, the person's gonna come at 12, rough just after 12. And what that then means then is I've got to go out, speak to them. I could be out there for like 20 minutes or so discussing details and planning out. So rather than me starting a call, and then let me just make sure I've got the lighting right in here. Rather than me starting a call and then, well, a live chat like we're doing now, what I don't want to do is do that and then go out and disappear for 15, 20 minutes because that's not fair on anyone. So I just started the live chat a little earlier. Hey, Brian. Hey, Sajif. I hope you're okay. I hope you've gone and seen the video we put out today about how we have now basically made our mastery modules a little bit more affordable for around the world. I know not everyone will agree with it. Some people are like, well, why are you doing that for? Or, you know, we were happy with it. But I am being a little bit more mindful and respectful of how, the prices that people basically are paying, whether you're in South Africa, Asia, even South America, even Europe to an extent as well. So the one-size-fits-all pricing, I was okay with that. However, it wasn't the best way to do it. So I've listened to a few people. I've also taken on board different geolocation areas basically, so I've decided to basically just change it, and I hope you're going to be okay with that. Hey Harish, how you doing? So M Sajif says, I need to change gravity form currency. I changed in setting, but it's still default. Okay, so have you checked with the gravity team? Have you checked with the gravity team? Number 2, have you purged your site? Purge your server, purge your site. It might be that you just need to do a purge. Have you tried WP Optimize as well, just to clean your backend databases? So you want me to share with you PHP code. The trouble is, Sajif, that means I've got to do work for you. No, to be honest, if you got a problem like that, you should be going back to Gravity. Now, when you say the currency is still USD, is that inside the Gravity form? If so, hey, cheers, Pez, and don't forget to smash the like button. If you are working on anything like that, so I've just got to quickly send a text message to someone. If you are working on anything like that, then let me just send a quick message here. You need to go and contact the developers. So a very common question I get is, how do I do X, Y, Z? Hold on, that's meant to be moving. Why is that not moving? That's all meant to be moving. Oh no, there's a bit of a delay there. There's a bit of a delay there. Look, I get asked a lot about this, okay? It's like, this plugin is not working. What do I do with this plugin? How do I make XYZ do ABC? And 9 times out of 10, I don't know. If I'm not using that plugin or that particular bit of code, I don't have the answer. I could look into it, but then you've got to commission me to look into it. If it's something I use on a regular basis, I probably will go, yeah, I know what that problem is. But I've just got to quickly send someone a quick message. Just bear with me. It's just the landscape. I just need to have confirmation of the address. So I'm just sending that to him now, like that. Yeah, cool. What I hate is, when you speak to someone on the phone and they go, yeah, we'll come over and we will do a good job for you. I always hate that. There's something about, if anyone's ever washing my car or doing some work for me or anything, and I hear this a lot from web designers as well when they used to contact me all the time, they always say, we'll do a good job for you. We'll do a really good job for you. That is so blasé, right? And so subjective. Like, you say we'll do a good job. What's your interpretation of a good job? If anyone ever contacts me and goes, hey, I'll design your website and I'll do a good job. What do you mean by a good job? Because my definition of a good job, I bet, is miles beyond what you're probably thinking. I'm thinking of mobile optimization, page speed optimization. I'm thinking about SEO building. I'm thinking that you've gone and thought about web accessibility. I'm hoping that you have thought about your branding, your palettes, your text, your color, your layout, all of that. What I don't want is for you to load up a template, put an image in for the logo, put in the menu, we'll jig up a few words and go, that's a good job. That's not a good job. That's just a job. That's just you just went through the motions, right? So I want you to do X, Y, Z. That's what these gardeners coming. Basically, I need them to do loads of clear out of loads of weeds that have built up in other areas. I need them to take some concrete posts out that are concreted into the ground. I need to break some panels and remove all the weight. I need them to do a lot of stuff. So when this person goes, yeah, we'll do a good job for you, you haven't even seen it. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but this kind of does work hand in hand a little bit with web design as well. Now, I am going to be, during this live chat, playing around with a particular plugin which currently has a lifetime deal going on at the moment with AppSumo. And I have to say, though, I've been meaning to look at this plugin for a while, but I haven't gone neck deep into it. So let me just show you the plugin I'm talking about. I'm just going to make my screen a little bit bigger like that, just so you can see me, because that's why you're all here, right? It's called CubeWP. So I'm just having a play with it. This is one of my test websites. This has not got a lot going on in here. This has just got Elementor, Elementor Pro, and CubeWP. There's only 3 activated plugins, because this works with Elementor pretty well. And I just want to get a feel for it before I start to before I start to maybe build a tutorial. I like to play with something, get a feel for, do I like it? You know, does it work, kind of thing? And if it works, then I'll go do a tutorial. Brian is still playing around with bricks. When I shrink the browser, I find the text often disappears out the section. That's not a breakpoint, Brian. That is actually the percentage, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So let me just open up one of my bricks websites. In fact, I'll open up the test one, because then I'm not sharing any dodgy information or anything. Let me just open up the test one. So when you go to the bricks website over here, if we go to pages, it's to do with the way it shows the sizes on the page. So let me show you. Let's go to this page over here. Okay, let me show you this page over here. So what you'll notice here, at the moment it says 100%. Okay, so when you shrink the browser, watch what happens over here where it says 100%. Okay, right? That sometimes, depending on your layout, it then shrinks. I mean, then again, I might be misunderstanding. You're saying the text disappears out of the section. When you say text disappears out of the section, though, I mean, look, if I was to shrink this down to this size, right? No, it seems to be okay at the moment. Can you clarify that, though? You say it shrinks out of the section. What, you mean the text completely goes off? Right, back over here. CubeWP, Google search, we'll leave that on. Yeah, I think that's okay. The map, you need to stick in a map API key. However, it does allow Mapbox and Google Map and OpenStreets. That's good. That is good. I like the fact that this plugin has been built to give you OpenStreetMap. That is really, really good. I don't know where that location is, though. I bet I could do a Google search. Gene, has anyone experienced a WooCommerce registration page shortcode appearance breaking? Instead of appearing side by side, it appearing... No, Gene, I haven't. I have not. Is that in... well, this website here, I don't think I had... Did I have bricks on this? Did I have WooCommerce on this website? I don't think I did on this website, no. I don't think this plugin had WooCommerce on, no. I might need to dig out another example website shortly or something, Gene. But no, I haven't noticed anything like that. Have you posted into the Bricks WordPress group? By the way, for anyone that's jumping on or joining in, I have gone live earlier today because I've got some gardeners and landscapers probably arriving in the next 45 minutes-ish. And I need to go out and chat with them about what they're going to be doing in the garden. But I could be out there for 15-20 minutes or so. So I want to be able to make sure that when I go out and speak to them, they do exactly what I asked. I don't want any... Let me explain. A bit like when, you know, when you're building for a client, you don't want any ambiguity or anything like that. You want to be very clear on what you're doing. I got a request from someone on the weekend. They want me to rebuild their website. They said it's a WooCommerce. Of their existing website is WooCommerce. I said, no, it's not. I said that nowhere on your page or any of your pages you have a shop. You advertise some products, but they're just images with text. There's no call, there's no button to buy now. So are you or are you not definitely using WooCommerce? Number one, I couldn't be bothered to scan the website. I was like, ugh. And then they started going, and they were like, yes, what's the price? I went, I can't give you a price unless I know exactly what you want. So we got to set up a discovery call. I don't like to play with ambiguity. Ambiguity, vagueness means you will assume this is what they want. They will assume you will do X, Y, Z. And somewhere you're like that. You're passing one another. You're not on the same page, right? So you kind of do have to watch out for that a lot. Okay, it's a bad mistake and the problems will occur. Mark Ware, can you tell me what happens if the theme builder you're using for your client suddenly stops updating? Okay, so number one, what is the theme name? In fact, what is the theme name and what is the builder you're using? Are we talking about Elementor? Are we talking about Hello, Astra, Nev, Bongo Bongo? What are we talking about? So just give me the name of the plugin and the page builder and the theme name. If you could, Mark, it would just help. Because if it suddenly collapsed, I would roll back. Unless it's a WooCommerce store, then it's a bit, you're going to lose sales or orders. I would roll back. So host provider, hopefully you have got backup set up. If not, use this as a lesson to go and do it. Okay, Cadence. Have you checked in the Cadence Facebook group? So Cadence, have they had a recent update? And what's the page builder you're using if you are using a page builder, out of curiosity? Because I would then roll back. If it's too risky to roll back, then maybe you want to think about, well, check with the Cadence Facebook group, do a rollback. If you can't do a rollback, can you find out? So is there another plugin on your website? Because it's not the theme's fault. Maybe the theme or the builder are in sync. It's okay. But what else have you got on the website? Might be some WooCommerce add-ons. There might be a Cadence add-on, which is not officially from Cadence, but someone built something and it's gone and installed. So you might need to think about that. But your first step, unless it's a WooCommerce store, and you got to be more careful there, is just roll a backup. And then be very mindful of any future updates that automatically happen. Disable it, deactivate it, and do it manually on a testing site. Make sure you got a backup as well, or a staging site. But you say Cadence, is that the page builder as well? Don't know why this strand here keeps dangling down. I'm gonna probably snip it off in a bit because it really irritates me when that one kind of throws down across my face. I don't like that. Anyway, back onto CubeWP. So far, the settings for this are pretty, I don't want to say substantial, but they're pretty basic. Archive settings. What does this mean? What's the you can easily on-off Cube custom archive page. What is the CubeWP custom archive page? What is that? I don't know what. Does anyone know what the CubeWP custom archive page is? Does anyone know what that is? So Mark, you've said yes. Is that you have got a backup? If so, roll to the backup then. This must be the blog filter page. You can easily, yeah, we'll go for a map. We'll go with filters. I like to see what we've got. Layout switch, yeah, okay. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. This is the free version, by the way. Okay, this is the free version that I'm using at the moment. I've just noticed something. I've just had a question from someone I've got to very quickly answer. If you're delivering a basic website for a client with just the contact form, just GDPR. Just someone asking a question about GDPR. just GDPR compliance. So I've just got to write in, obviously, a PP page. Sorry, I've just got to quickly answer this question here. Obviously, I hate doing these. You know, when I'm answering and I feel like I'm ignoring you all. I don't mean to do that. Yeah. Try that, mate, Mark. Okay. And then when you do that, make sure all of your plugins you've maybe disabled automatic update, and then make note of which ones are now indicating an update. Is it Cadence? Is it an extra plugin? So have a think about that. Yeah. Yeah, so Brian, if it is right, the text is disappearing into the header and the lower section, it's most likely going to be the layout then. It's mostly going to be a layout. I mean, I can't do much with it, but if you've published that page and you email me the URL, we'll open the page, not your back-end admin. We're not going to look at your back-end admin or the design, but if we open your page, we'll open it and just see, well, what happens when we shrink? Can I detect anything maybe? And I might not be able to, but can I potentially detect something or not? I don't know. But that might be an idea. It might be an idea. No guarantees though. All right, no guarantees on doing anything more than that, or even being able to work out what we got. Right, so back onto that Cube WP settings over here. So they're the post settings. We've saved that. Cube single page now. If you're working with Elementor, why would you want to do that? But I think we'll have a look at it. We'll see what it gives you, just out of curiosity. I think that's always a good idea, don't you think? You know, what does it give you? Gives you to save the post type. Ah, that's interesting. So Cube WP allow you to save. I'm not sure how that would work though. They'd have to make, well, obviously then would have an account to log in so they could log back in and then see the incomplete post. We'll have to test that out. Share button, Twitter share. You can share the post. No, I don't know. No. I prefer what we get with Elementor, but we'll leave those on. Let's save the settings. In case anyone's wondering, I'm just testing out the Cube WP plugin because they've got a really good deal at the moment with AppSumo, lifetime deal, right? So I'm having a play with what do we actually get on here. Yes, so Video Boy, for anyone who's kind of missed the news, we've now enabled parity pricing on our mastery modules, mainly because I was very mindful that some people were feeling a little bit priced out, and our second biggest audience is India. Our fourth biggest is, so it's USA, India, United Kingdom, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and then we get Germany, Netherlands, and then it starts to spread out. So if in my top 5, my 2 biggest audience, in fact, no, my 3 biggest audiences are India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, there's something really wrong with the pricing model if I was not acknowledging that. So I had a really good think last week, started thinking more about it during the week, and then I got to Friday and I thought, sod it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Yes, Pez, that is Cube WP. So I thought, I'm going to do it. I am now going to enable parity pricing, and we're going to do it for continents. Okay, and I know you could say some countries in some continents are better off than some others, and I thought, no, I'm just going to keep it really simple. We have North America, Oceania, we have Europe, then we have South America, then we have Asia, then we have Africa. Now, I do not mean to disrespect anyone by saying Africa gets the cheapest. However, when you look at the GDP per capita of the whole continent, well, countries and the continent, it makes no sense for me to say you pay that much. So in effect, Africa is about 12-13% of what we were originally charging. Asia is, let me get this right, I think it's 23%. roughly like that, roughly 23%. Europe is about 80%. And again, some people are going to say, why are you done that for? There's people in London that can afford it. I know, I get that. But I've got to kind of allow it to be more broader. And I looked at the North America rates, the Oceania, which is Australia, New Zealand. I looked at all of those rates, and I just had to do some form of reasonableness in terms of pricing. So I hope that if you've been put off by going for our mastery modules, if you've been put off with our how to start a web design business super course, I hope you're not going to be put off now, okay? And it's me giving back to you, okay? At the end of the day, I'm the one losing income. Do you get what I mean? I'm the one losing out on it. But in a way, I feel like I'm not losing out because I feel like you're learning. And if you're learning and you're improving and you can make your businesses better, that is a win. I mean, why do I do the live chats? Why do I do the live chats? Right? Why do I keep pumping out videos? Why do I do it? Why am I giving up my time? Because I care. I really do care. And that's why I decided to just put the pricing in. Unlike Video says, you do wish I'd done it. I mean, I don't think I fully respected it enough. I put the prices out. I did think about it, but I do now regret not doing it earlier, Video, but I really do. But I do hope that going forwards, you know, if there's ever future courses or any course you didn't get and you thought about it, I hope you now consider it. So like I said, for anyone joining on, the reason why I've gone live early is because I've got some gardeners coming and I need to speak to them. And I don't want to like do a live chat and then stop and I disappear for 20 minutes. That's not fair on you all, is it? Tell me though, would you have been prepared to wait 20 minutes? Would you have been happy waiting 20 minutes? I don't know if you would have been happy waiting 20 minutes. I don't know if you would. I know I wouldn't. I don't know if you would. But let me know, would it have bothered you if I disappeared for 20 minutes and then come back and you're just staring at these screens behind me? Would it have bothered you? By the way, hey Dave, did I say hi Dave? I think I did. El Chanel, what is the best? This is the best thing I've seen in the WordPress space in a while. Yeah, I mean, it does take guts, but it also takes motivation and ambition as well. I want to create an amazingly big, I want to have 1 million subscribers. I want to be reaching out across the world. And it's not just for me. I want to try and create something that I hope my son as well. I hope eventually Raheem will grow up to take over the channel one day. I hope. When I get really old, you know, and we're all like going, oh, do I need to log on? I really hope that he can roll with this and I hope that he can take it over and I hope he can build amazing foundations for the business as well. I really do. But I've got to be out there, right? It's a dog eats dog's world. I'm really sorry, right? There's always influencers and designers out there, you know, and you got to be out there. And I do wish that I had not started this maybe 10 years ago. Can you imagine where we'd be if we'd started this 10 years ago? I do regret that, and I wish I had. But I suppose that's just life, right? What? What's this? Where am I? Where have I gone? Oh, I've just realised. I was looking on Facebook, and it said something, and I was like, this isn't even my channel. Where am I? Hold on, I've just got to quickly send a message to someone, okay? Just bear with me for a moment. I've just got to I've just got to quickly send a message. Yep. Hey Sinan, I like your logo by the way, Sinan. I do like the look of that. Brian says invest in a cardboard cutout. So when I leave the room, I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that would work really. I think people would get a little bit I think people get a little bit annoyed by that. But yeah, look, like I've said, okay. Hey, Andrea, like I've said, okay, if you have not jumped over onto our... By the way, Andrea, I am going to contact you maybe today or as soon as I can, okay, about getting you onto a joint live chat, okay? All right, okay. So for anyone that hasn't seen the video that we put out at the moment, we did earlier, all of our mastery modules now, the basically we've applied like parity pricing, okay? So when you go to our mastery modules and you go to I don't know how to start a web design business or marketing planning or sharing our stash, now the prices will reduce significantly for some people if you're based in South America, Asia, Africa. Okay, so if you've been put off by our prices, please go and have a look at that. Chatbot funnels, it works for 2 clients. What do you think is the reason, Interpret, why it's not working for you? Why do you think it's not working for you? What do you think has stopped that from working? What do you think it is? I mean, it's got to be something, right? It's got to be something pretty... In fact, I'm just going to quickly drop... Can I just drop the brightness behind me for a moment? Just bear with me. Sorry, there you go. I've just dropped the brightness a little bit there. It was a little bit brighter than it should be. Can anyone give Interpret any recommendations for a chatbot funnel? I haven't got any in mind. I rarely use them on client websites, so I don't want to advise on anything at the moment. Right, so back to what I was looking at. So CubeWP have got a deal going on over there. You can see AppSumo lifetime deal for 5 licenses, right? $49. I'm not an affiliate for AppSumo. I am not an affiliate for CubeWP. I'm just going through, and I'm going to do a bit of a test of their settings and everything. But I want to get an idea for I just want to get an idea for their layout and their settings. So far, I am impressed by the simplicity and intuitiveness of their CubeWP settings. I am quite impressed by that. Hey, look, Dipanshu, what I would say, is don't worry about it. I know, like, I've already had emails from some people saying, will I refund them? And I have to say, no, it's going forwards. That's how changes in pricing normally work. You might have had a price and then you change it. Now, it's not a discount per se, but it says applying parity pricing. What I will say, Dipanshu, is look, I know you wish you got it earlier. I know you do, but take it on the chin and now know that going forward, if there was ever anything more or extra you wanted, the options are there for you, right? All right. I'm sorry to hear this, Interpret, but you're saying that he's not paid you. Has he paid you a deposit? I mean, you know where I'm going with this, right? But has he paid you a deposit? And if not, I'm really, 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 really sorry to hear that, okay? Really, because it's a nasty situation to be in. Hey, Tice, how are you doing? Right, back on over here. So they're the CubeWP settings. What you also get with CubeWP is these massive amount of items over here. I mean, this is big, right? I mean, look at this. You get loads of stuff. You obviously got the settings. You have got the option to import and export. I like that. I do like the idea that you can export and import between sites because sometimes people lock that down. Hey, Pickstar, you're not missed anything, my friend. Just saying that you know, we've done the parity pricing now on the mastery modules, and I'm just playing around with CubeWP, Pickstar, my main friend. Is it better to use unitless line height in typography? Now, this is an interesting one, okay? When it comes to line height, I follow a certain rule. So, if my REM is 1, my line height is 1.5. If my REM is 3, my line height is 3.5. Notice what I'm doing. I'm increasing my line height by 0.5. Because if you have REM 5 and your line height is set to 5, your words are actually very close together. They're like that. Your words will be like that. But if the typography is 5 REM and your line height is 5.5, it's a bit like that. It's not like that. It will look cleaner, easier to read. So I always tend to go with like that. I tend to do that. I mean, Pixar does percentage. I tend to use REM with that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Dipanshu, do you know what? See what Dipanshu's written, okay? He's got a lot of experience and he's learned from the course and he's applying those. And it changes your concept, doesn't it? You suddenly feel like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this strategy, and it just makes things work for you, right? It works for you. Back on to, by the way, at any point, I'm probably going to get interrupted by landscapers who are coming in to look at the garden and probably start the work today if I like them, you know, and I feel okay with them. If I get the feeling that they're a bunch of knobs, they can knob it, okay? Plain and simple. But yeah, plain and simple. Hey Johnny, how you doing? Yeah, so I'm just looking at CubeWP at the moment. I'm just looking at what do you get, what do you not get. So there's a user sign-up form that you would get with the Pro. Now, remember, CubeWP have enabled a lifetime deal for $49. So I am keen to see that, but I just want to get an idea for what do they give you. And would you have to sign up for the Pro version if you've got Elementor Pro, especially with the loop grid already? So what do you get here where you would need to use the Pro version? Or could you use CubeWP out the bag and just get on with it? Now we have a dashboard over here. No, there's the deal. I do think, though, that they've made a bit of a mistake. You got this over here, and then you got this video here with the same image. It feels like an oversell. What they should have done here is put the video in here, right? Kind of makes sense, right? Why duplicate it over here and here, there and there? I would have put the video there. Just have the video there. So if you are looking at this on a smaller device, it's at the top. I'm looking at CubeWP. CubeWP is... CubeWP is a pretty snazzy plugin, but I want to go into it a little bit more. I've seen demos. It's for custom fields, basically. In fact, let me explain it. It's most of us, when we do custom fields, we go to ACF or pods, but a lot of us are now moving away from pods now that ACF has custom post type built in, right? This kind of is post types, fields, and more. There's a lot more in here. A whole lot more. In fact, you get a lot more for free in here than you get in other places. So I do want to have a look at that. And by the way, I hope you're liking the Arcane. I've got some footage. God, I love this car. I cannot wait for season 2, right? Right, let's get back onto it. So we have the ability to create custom post types and custom taxonomies. We can also do some other stuff. However, the filter option here is locked away until you get the premium version. But I will be looking into that once I get the Pro version. Before I go and get the Pro version and all of that, it absolutely is Dipanshu. It is. So we have a bit of footage, and then it cuts out to just like some moving screens. Like you can see moving wallpaper here. You can see it's moving. Someone's been doing some funky Adobe stuff on it, or whatever they're using. And I just think it's a snazzier, just a snazzy way of adding in a little bit of variation as to what you see on screen. I've got to keep a lookout in case landscapers arrive. But yeah, So someone called Mohit has just sent me a website, but I'm going to say, are you on the live chat? Because I can't look at it unless you're on the live chat. Are you on the live chat right now? As that's where I review it. Right, anyway, back to the website. Front-end layout manager, again, you would need the pro version for this, but we are just playing around and getting a feel for what we can do here. Advanced, I mean, there's a lot that is locked away. I have to say, social login, payments, digital wallet, inbox, claim listings. So the inbox means that, let's say you've got 20 people put their listings on your website using this plugin, and the user wants to communicate with them, they can without having to go through you. Hey, John, how are you? Yeah, so Video Boy, I've disabled the buy now for the analytics, right? So the analytics you can no longer purchase for 2 reasons. Number one, if you've got it, you got it. But going forwards, I'm not going to allow anyone else to buy it now because there's so many changes happening with Google Analytics 4, Google Data Studio, the amount of time it takes for me to go in and modify and all of that. I'm no longer taking any more sales for that. So that is why, very well spotted, Video Boy, there are no more buy now buttons for that analytics. In fact, I've taken away the button as well from a couple of them because it basically there was no need to keep selling those anymore. To be honest, once I've played around with it, I am going to build pages with it, and I am going to do a full-blown tutorial on it, just not yet. This right now, by the way, everyone, is you seeing me researching. This is the research. So, you know, whenever anyone says to me, oh, Imran, are you going to do a video about this plugin? Oh, Imran, have you looked at this? I have to put in time to look at it. You know, anyone here who does videos, Andrea, if she's still here, anyone who does videos, you've got to know what you're doing. What I don't like doing is, what I don't want to do is a video on CubeWP, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Shall we go here? No. Oh, I clicked in the wrong place. Oh, no, I broke my website. I need to know, is it worth it? Do I get it? Right? Do I like it? I will not do it. If I don't like it, it ain't happening. You can pay me, but I will not accept payment, and I'm not doing it. If I like it, and I get it, and I feel like I can explain it intuitively to you, I will do a video on CubeWP, most likely the pro version as well with all the extra added features. And then how can we make this, how can we use it instead of ACF? In fact, could we use this instead of the My Listing theme for directory? That's interesting, isn't it? Maybe we could. Okay, so some of the stuff that's locked away, like single post loop generator. Well, if you've got Elementor Pro, who cares? Right? If you've got Elementor Pro, who cares? Contact form, you know. So let's have a look and see what we've got here. Sinan, what WordPress videos are popular these days? Mine. I don't know. Anyone and everyone, to be honest. I really want to start recording videos, but procrastinate. You know what, Vodipanshu? Here's the secret. Here's the secret, right? Here's the secret to it. You make a list of 20 videos you might do. 20. And then you decide which one you're going to do, and you do it. And then you do another one. And then you do another one. And every week, you keep adding to that 20. Eventually, you'll realise, well, I started with 20. I've done 3. The other 17, I don't want to do now. But I have added on 10. I might do 4 of them and then ditch the others. And then you add on another 10 to the list. Or I'll do 2 of them and ditch the others. It's okay to ditch. No one's going to know that you ditched them. I can't see your list. You can't see my lists, right? Boop. You can't see my lists, right? So I go, yeah, I'll do a video on that. Oh, I'll do this as well. And then when I get to it, I kind of go, no, pointless. No one's going to care about that. That might satisfy one person, but should I spend all this time on just one thing? So what you got to do is kind of make your list, and then you decide. When you decorate, right? When you're decorating, you're going to think about what you're doing. Am I going to paint? Yeah, okay, do it then. Maybe before you paint, you're going to fix the plastering. Maybe there's a few cracks. Maybe you're going to think about removing like a window or a wall and you're going to change something else. I don't know. You're going to be thinking about loads of things that you might want to do. And you're going to have a list. But when you get to it, do you do all of them? Or do you only do what you feel like? Well, you know what? I did say I was going to paint the ceiling. But you know what? I can do just the walls. The ceiling isn't urgent. It's not needed. No one even notices it. So what do you need to do? And you should do that with everything in your life. Weddings. Do you have to have everything? No, you don't. Cars. Does your car have to be a convertible? No, it doesn't. I mean, aircon is pretty good. Alloys look nice, electric windows, all of that. You would love to, they're kind of necessities. But does it have to be a convertible? No. When you're buying a house, how many rooms does it need? When you're buying food, what does it have to have? When you're making a meal, what do you need to add? Oh, I normally add spices. I've run out of spices. Can I still eat the meal? Yes, I can. So let's just go ahead and eat it. Do you get what I mean? Mohit, I can. Mohit, are you ready? So you've sent me your website. We're jumping into Mohit's website, everyone. So here we go. Mohit Kumar emailed over his website. So we are now going to look at it. So let me tell you straight from the get-go. Right, Mohit. We load up your website. We get this, you can see here, we have the phone appear from the left, and then we have that, and then you're going to get a pop-up. Watch this. Boom. That puts me off. Okay, that puts me off. Okay, I have a massive problem with pop-ups at the moment. If you think this is going to work for you, go for it. I do think your contrast of your text is wrong, though. You know your contrast? That's not great over there, the black. I would have an overlay at the top, halfway or 40% overlay at the top there. And then maybe put white text or something, or whiten it. Maybe fade out the background completely a little bit. And that X there in a white box does not look good. It just looks... Get rid of that white box there, and look at the positioning of it. It's right underneath the word project. It really doesn't work there. Okay, don't take offense though, by the way, Kate. If you want me to stop, tell me to stop. Hey, Maddie, hope you're okay. Okay, Mohit, let's crack on. Assignments, okay, yeah. That is quite a busy menu, I have to say. There you go. Deepanshu has kind of answered the question. Have it scroll down. Because right now, before I've even taken interest, like I'm reading. So what is this website about? You've got these sliders that... There's a lot to read, There is a lot to read. And you've got these sliders that are whizzing. And then you got a pop-up. It's not good. Scroll down for pop-up is much better. I do feel like there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of words. Like assignment writing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then I got thesis writing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I got article writing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's too much. It is too much. I've got to go check. I've got a landscaper coming. And as soon as they arrive, I have to jump off. So let me do this quick. You're better off explaining what you do. Assignments, theses, and article writing. All of this stuff here should be further down the page. Now when you break down what is assignment, you could have 3 columns. Assignment, theses, what was the other one? Article writing, right? So you'd go dun, 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 right? 3 columns. But here, you're asking, I'm stuck here at the moment. I'm not even bothering to scroll down. So there's a lot going on. I don't like the white here. I would put down more padding here below the dots and make this meet. Get rid of that spacing there. Because at the moment, you're asking me to read a lot. So I would just keep it really simple. Don't have a slider. Really simple. And these images... They're not consistent. That image is not the same as that image. It's not the same as that image. You got 3 completely different styles. Go with one style. Maybe that image, make it smaller, have your words, a smaller subtitle, whatever here, and then you got your button maybe. Down here, right, is where you want to be breaking up your 3 columns now. article, theses, and whatever was the other one, assignment. You see what I mean? I'm forgetting what you've got because there's so much for me to take in. It's not sinking in. And if I'm looking at your website, like I'm really looking at it, and it's still not sinking in what you do. This is overkill because I don't even know what that is. You might say they will. Don't assume they will know what that is. What is that? What is that? What's the difference there? Watch out for that, okay? But this is where you want to now break down what they are. Contact our professors ain't going to work because who is your professor? That capture ruins the form, massively ruins the form. But contact our professor. Who's the professor? Who is it? Dr. Einstein? Who is it? We don't know. Why would I contact them? Yeah. Your padding here as well. You've 100. Got to have 100 here. Got to have 100 there. Padding here. Make it about 50, 40, 50. You can get away with it there, but you've got to have a bit there. Okay. Another mistake you're making, okay, is you see here you've got shadow effect for your borders. You got the shadow. And then over here you've gone for the background with, like, you know, solid shadow in a way, so it's not blurred. Make your mind up. Are you going to do that, or are you going to do that? Are you doing that effect, or are you doing that effect over there? Yeah? Right? So far, I haven't seen a single image of a real... I mean, I would even get rid of this image and have a picture of real people studying. I would have pictures of people actually around a table studying, feeling happy, feeling good. I would watch out for your layout. I mean, look, you're going to have to make sure that you get this to start at the top. You've got everything set to the middle with no padding. You've got to have about 20, definitely 20 on the left and right padding. You've got to have padding at the top and bottom, about 30 pixel. Same here, 30 pixel, 30 pixel, 30. You know, you've got to bring it in a bit there. It feels very cramped. And over here, your circle is cut off. Can you see that? Your circle, you've sliced it off. So what's your sizing there? Again, I'm not going to go through this all because this is a very big web page. But your padding, you got to work on your padding, right? Padding, 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 padding. This is too much. And they're not even buttons. Look, this is overkill, right? I'm telling you, this should be on a separate page. This should be on courses, right? This is major, major overkill. I feel like you're doing this for SEO. Is this for SEO, Mohit? Because you haven't entered anything yet, Mohit. So I hope this is making sense to you. But this feels to me like you're doing SEO bombardment. And I just don't, you know, for more subject lists. This is a WhatsApp. Look, this is a WhatsApp. You've got a button that goes to a WhatsApp for more subject lists. Why would anyone send a WhatsApp to get more subject? That should go to a subject list page, right? Look, again, there's a lot of... It's too much. It really... I mean, look, I'm going on and on and on now, right? I'm telling you, no one is going to get to here. I don't think anyone... Also, you've really got to bring down your weighting. I mean, and the size. I mean, it's not... Look at your text here and look at your font here. Why is that bigger than that? You know, that's almost a little bit childish because it's so big, like a crayon almost. So I would drop that down. Talk to our expert. Again, I don't know who your experts are. Become a writer. That's Einstein. Einstein wasn't really a writer. So think about putting an image of someone who's a writer. But is that the real building, though? Is that actually where they're based? Because if that is not where they're based, you have to watch out for that because that could be breach. Big misrepresentation. So is that the real building? Is that the real building? Because you haven't answered yet, Mohit. Because if it's not, get rid of it. because that is proper misrepresentation if it's not. I think you're going to get the gist that your paddings are just wrong. Like, you really need to, I mean, again, look, padding. More text, more inconsistency with the styling. Look, we're going from that style to that style to this style. Inconsistency. I'm trying to see if I can, someone's here. No. This, again, remain anonymous. You're trying to create a website and you go and put on that, right? That is associated with 4chan. That's going to be associated with anonymous. That's going to be associated with hacking. That's going to be associated with protests, disruption. I don't think that is... My son loves V for Vendetta. He loves the film. I love the film V for Vendetta. I do. My son has that mask. He has that. He loves to wear it at Halloween. But would I put it on an academic website? I don't think so. So, big red warning straight away. Like, it doesn't even fit the colour scheme, number one. But I am going to say, right, if I go to About Us... Who are you? I mean, look, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to do the page, but like, look again, the pop-up. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, I do think you've got to go back to the drawing board with this. And I think you need to work with someone to mentor you. Look, I'm here for you, right? But it's not free. It's a one-to-one consultation. But I would say you need to reach out, not just to me, but to anyone else, okay? You have also got our Web Squadron Facebook group as well. So go to Facebook, go to Web Squadron. But I think you need, a bit of guidance, because there's a danger here that you could go away, right? Sort out all the padding, but just doing the padding is not your major thing you need to do here. You need to think about content, layout, what goes on what page. You need a sitemap. You need to think about your navigation. You need to think about how are you converting them. You got to think about honesty and transparency. You got to think about people, faces. Who's behind this organization? There's no face there. On that website at the bottom, it had a name, but who's that person? I shouldn't have to go to Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter to find that person. I want to know who they are if I'm going to invest money or anything in it, in this course or stuff like that. So you've really got to, in my opinion, and this is me telling you because I care, stop. You've got to stop working on that website and take a massive step back. You've got to go, right, what have we got? Or what is the client, what are they trying to achieve? That's the key thing. What are they trying to achieve? And then start laying out all the components. It's going to take a bit of time and start going, well, that goes there, that goes on that page, that goes there, right? How can I convince someone who has never come to my website? They're going to find me on SEO because you are bombarding SEO here. It's pretty obvious, okay? How... Now you see, you said that is the building, right? If that's the building... and the building is that big, there must be lots of people working there. Why are we not seeing the people? Why are we not talking about... Why is that not in your hero banner with all the people stood outside going, yay? You know, like, hey, here we are. Why is it not a photo of an inside, you know, where you got loads of the team members stood there smiling, leaning over. Hey, how you doing? Why are we not getting that? Yeah? So obviously, if that is the building... you need to take that all on board, right? We need to have that kind of thing. Yeah, and like everyone is saying at the moment, you can see the comments. I mean, no one here is being disrespectful, by the way, okay? No one, it's just, there's lots of red flags. And if you compare that to maybe other academic websites that are offering online courses, you're going to be doing yourself and your client a disservice. So you really do need to, like, take a step back, look at other websites, understand the content, what they're trying to achieve, think about your sitemap, but do look at other websites, research a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, Andrea says it. Yeah, look, do some research, design in Figma or something simple. Yeah, I mean, you could even just grab a bit of paper and just start drawing out. But right now, you've got too much going on at the moment. Yeah. So that's not the company's business, the university which the company is selling. I'm not sure exactly what that means. However, there needs to be someone behind it. There is going to be someone behind it. You have a client, right, Mohit? Do you have a client? Now, I get the feeling this is live, isn't it? Yeah? So because you've said in your email you created this months ago, which means the client was happy and it signed off. So this is already out there. This isn't work in motion. This is already out there. And this is where you've really got to take a step back now and go, what should I have done differently? Yeah? So this is one of those moments where you have to now reflect on what you should have done differently. And I would strongly suggest go and look at example websites. Go and watch some of our tutorials on building with Elementor bricks. Go and watch stuff and get a better understanding of what they're doing. Hey Rajat, how are you doing? Brian, the issue is that if that grow, yeah, and that's the thing though, Brian, isn't it? That grey hat can work SEO, it can work. I just feel like it's over bombardment. And can you imagine, right, Brian? Someone does a search for religious studies. That website pops up because of the amount of SEO. They go there and they're going to go, where the hell's the religious studies bit? And they've got to scroll down to the middle of the page. Then they see the word religious studies. They click it. It doesn't even take them anywhere. So they've been led to your website because of the word religious studies. They get there and that's it. Like, there isn't even a link to take them to a religious studies specific page. Thereby, I feel cheated. And I'm jumping off your website and I will never come again. So, like, the whole point of SEO is you reward me. If I do a search for how to become a millionaire and I find your post on Google, you better be giving me strategies for how to become a millionaire. I know it's up to me to become a millionaire, but you better give me good tips. Otherwise, I'm never coming again, right? So if you go to a website, and it's a bit like in the old days, 23 years ago, right? 23 years ago, people were bombarding websites with the word Britney Spears. 23 years ago, they were bombarding it because they wanted to get found. So someone would do a search for Britney Spears, find your link, click it, and then they go to a website which was about how to repair a car. But someone somewhere put the word Britney Spears and loads of other words into there somewhere. You're never going to go to that website again. In fact, I would argue, why are you even searching for Britney Spears 23 years ago? Hey, hit me baby one more time. No, thank you. Okay, yeah, Bo says, I got my first 2 sales on my new websites and the products have been delivered to them. Any idea on how to get them to do a review? Well, Bio, you just have to say to them, look, it would really help me. I hope you email them back and you go, look, I don't want to take up your time, but I would really, really massively appreciate it if you would just fill out, click this link and leave a review. It doesn't have to be too long or too complex, but it would really, I would really appreciate that. And by the way, don't forget, I am here if you ever need me to help you out with anything. So you just drop an email, though. Just drop them an email, right? Pretty plain and simple there. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, when you fake it and oversaturate and all of that, you become untrustworthy, and people will not be going back to you. They remember you. They remember you. When you pull shit like that, they shit on you. Okay, plain and simple. Michael, a lot of clients want everything above the fold. Yeah, exactly. The amount of times I have to do this, I have to literally. Sometimes I get into a mini argument, and then if I feel like they don't get it, and I go, okay, I will do that. But if your website score goes down or you don't get many hits or conversions, you made that decision. Okay? I want you to understand. I am not saying my way will convert more, but I'm trying to get into your head. And you know what's worse? Do you know what really winds me up? When you ask them to show you example websites they like, 9 times out of 10, the example websites they show you are very clean. Hero banner, the look of it, the text, the image, very clean. But they still want to go for a busy site. And the busy websites they don't like are the ones that are busy. Basically, the websites they don't like, they're busy, but they want a busy website. And you kind of say to them, but the 2 websites you like are clean as mud, right? This one is dirty water, but you want the dirty water. That's right, clean mud. You heard that right. There is such a thing, except I don't know where it is. I hope you're enjoying the live chat. You know, I kind of started very, very early today, mainly because I have got some landscapers coming and I'm going to have to go and speak to them. And I didn't want to start a live chat and disappear for 20 minutes. And I might come back in an angry or irritated mood after speaking to them, and then do a live chat. But I hope you understand that I will, I hope you understand, plain and simple. And I hope you're okay with that. And I'm sure you are okay with that. Mark says, should I have a separate page for each service? No, depends on your services. Depends on your services. You could have a page that explains all of them. But if your services are very complex, so let's say for SEO, you offer 10 different things. Then you might want to have an SEO. No, you would have a page for services that briefly describes them. Then you might have a link that takes them to another page. But bear in mind, you want to reduce the amount of links you give people. From the home page to contact, you want to keep it as lean and mean Gene Okerlund as you can. You heard that right. Lean, mean Gene Okerlund. Okay. Just going to check another email that's come in. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope that helps you, Moed. I hope that helps to get you thinking about what you might do or not do in future. Every now and again, we review a website and it's so crystal clear that it needs just... if this was me, right, and your website was not live, I would tell you to pull it and go back to the drawing board with it. I really, really would. And I would say that I don't think there's any point in me offering to mentor you. I'm going to be honest here, because my one-to-one consultation costs, I've got a feeling they're going to be outside of what you're going to be comfortable with. But I do think you need to find someone who can either support you for free or there'll be a charge, but they mentor you, because all it takes, right, is for someone to go to that client and make a comment about the look of it, and that client might come back to you and remember you for it. Hey, Mia, I started really early because I've got some landscapers coming. So really, really sorry if anyone is jumping on now. I hope you're okay. By the way, if you do go over to our mastery modules now, don't forget to smash the like button, people. If you do go over to our mastery modules now, we have enabled some... That keeps freezing for a moment, doesn't it? And then it plays again. It's a bit weird why it does that. What was I going to say? Yeah, parity pricing. So now we've made it much more affordable for people in, say, South America, Asia, and Africa as well. Europe gets a 20% discount on the prices as well, because I have to I'm trying to be more encompassing. You know, I'm trying to be more encompassing of the world and just make it so much more accessible for people to enjoy the courses, especially the super course on how to start a web design business. So like I said, I'm really, really sorry if anyone's just jumped on. We have still been live for close to an hour, I think. How long have we been live for? Does anyone know? Does anybody know We've been live for 1 hour, 4 minutes. As soon as the landscapers arrive, I will be saying toodaloo, goodbye, and jumping off, okay? But we're still going to be here for a bit of time. I'm thinking about getting like a manual treadmill and a standing desk. Has anyone, like, I tried it once before with an electronic one, but then the treadmill kept giving off quite a noise, which was irritating. I am thinking about getting a manual treadmill, so it's not electric, standing desk. So sometimes when I'm doing the live chats while I'm working, mainly when I'm live chatting, I can just kind of walk as I'm like, you know, because like in 1 hour's worth of walking, you can get in about 4 kilometers. Easy, in fact, easily 4 kilometers. I know that because I know in 45 minutes you can get in about 3.5 kilometers, roughly ish, probably a bit more. So easily 4 kilometers. And wouldn't it be lovely if when I'm doing the live chats, I'm actually doing a 4 kilometer walk as well? I'm trying to do about 11 to 12 kilometers every day. I started it on Friday. I try to do like 3 or 4 kilometers or, you know, blocks. So what I'll do is, I think that's the landscapers. No, that's not them yet. They're not here yet. But I'm kind of running around the house indoors most of the time. But you know, I am running good jog, and I do them in blocks of 4 kilometers. I don't overdo it. So 4 kilometers, I'm averaging about 26 minutes-ish. 26 minutes-ish, 26, 27 sometimes. So I do them in blocks. So I have a bit of a break from the desk and just do a quick 26-minute jog, whatever. Try and do it in the morning, afternoon, and towards the evening as well. Because I tell you what, we do spend too much time at the desk. Way too much time. I'm just trying to check. Have I missed a question at all? Have I missed a question at all by anyone over here? I can see Pigstar's answering Mark's question. I feel like I've missed something, but if I don't need to answer anything, I won't do. So this week I am hoping to do an in-depth video on Cube WP and Termageddon, like a proper start to finish with using Termageddon start to finish right. But I also want to do one for Cube WP as well. One thing I did want to say though is Andrea, are you still on here? Oh no, why is my music playing on my phone? Did I just turn that on by accidentally? I don't know if Andrea is still on here. If she is, she asked a question to her subscribers and her followers a couple of days ago about should she do lots of in-depth videos into CrocoBlock, and I really hope she does. And I think that if she's really got the knack with CrocoBlock, I think she can do some amazing tutorials, and I'll gladly be letting people know whenever she does them, because I've never ventured into it, because I used to find it quite complex, not always very intuitive, and you have to stop and think quite a lot. But if Andrea is planning to do some really hardcore, well, not even hardcore, just, you know, explaining CrocoBlocks, I think she should. Oh, she is there. Excellent. She just waved. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I know a lot of you continuously ask about, are you going to do a CrocoBlock video? And I keep going, no, I'm not doing it. But if she does that, I think it is a big area of interest. Hey, John, you just said area of interest, just as I said it. How strange is that? We both said area of interest at the same time. How weird. But I would say if she can do that, I think that's going to be great for you guys and her audience and loads of other people. So Andrea, no pressure, but if you do decide to do it, you're going to get a lot of people that will take a lot of interest. And I think if you did it as a series as well, so not just one video, and then you did more, and then more, and then more. You know, I think it will really build up, and I think it's a great way to actually. So it's a bit like one of the really big things that helped Paul's channel was ACF. So when he went into ACF, I think that he was doing really well, but it helped him really explode. Me, it's mainly just Elementor and a bit of Bricks, but it's because I do a lot of support on the forums as well. So people obviously navigate towards the videos as well because you build up that trust. But I do think that, that can be a really lovely and by the way, Andrea, if you are planning to do this, and this is a little bit of a hint, if you are going to do it, please reach out to Lana Myro. Okay, Lana Myro, part of the Crock-a-Block team. Reach out to her before you do it, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because Lana Myro might take a bit of interest in what you're doing, and they will do a lot of promotion for you as well. And they might even sponsor you. Okay, I'm just letting you know, Andrea. I know that's not the reason you're doing it, but if you are going to do any Crock-a-Block videos, please reach out to Lana Myro, Lanamiro, Crock-a-Block. She's always promoting and doing media for them and stuff like that. Please reach out to her and tell her I sent you. Tell her I sent you, okay? Not that I get anything back for it. I get nothing. I'd probably get a slap in the face. I get nothing. But do reach out to her because I think she's a great person. If you've not already connected with her, great person. But yeah, there you go, Andrea. There you go. And here's the other thing, Andrea. Here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. Let me give you something here. Maybe you say to Lana, okay, would you give you, not me, you, 3 Crock-a-Block lifetime licenses? And maybe you run a competition on it. So as part of your Crock-a-Block set, maybe they might give you 1 or 2, maybe, lifetime licenses for Crock-a-Block. Maybe. You might want to keep one for yourself. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe you offer it as a competition. So just something you might want to put out there, okay? These are kind of the things that can help to build traction as well. Excellent. I'm just reading some of the comments. I'm pretty sure, I'll tell you what, if these landscapers don't arrive for another hour, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed because when they told me they'd be here, they're now late. They are late by 19 minutes. Okay? And I don't keep me waiting. All right? Don't keep me waiting. But yeah, I can see Brian's offering some advice about SEO, and I agree with what he's saying there. I do agree. I mean, look, there's nothing worse. There is nothing worse than building a website and then doing the SEO afterwards, because then you have to kind of go through the images again with the alt description. Then you got to maybe rejig the headline, keywords, header 1, header 2, content, first 20%, 10% here and there. You start having to think things through. If the website's got 20 posts, are you going to do the SEO for those posts or not? And then so much has to have to happen. Right? Do you know what, Gary? They probably did, They probably did. By the way, though, I am very analytical when someone gives me a quote. So I had someone once come and give me a quote. And I said, how many people will be working in? He says, oh, just 2 of us. I go, so there's 2 of you. And you're going to be doing X, Y, Z. And you say you'll get it done in 4 hours. So that means I'm paying you each £500 for 4 hours work. And it was just it was some garden work. And they were like, yeah. I said, right, how did you work that out? I said, you want me to pay you £500 for 4 hours work? By the way, I know you're going to say, yeah, but Imran, you offer a one-to-one consultation. Let me just put this into perspective, right? The people that are coming today are here to pull out loads of weeds, take out some posts and get rid of some old wooden post wood pieces. So if they turn up and they come out with a really high cost, I might kind of question it and go, so how'd you get to that cost? And people don't like it when I do that. If they don't like it, but I'm not going to pay a ridiculous amount, all right? It's like someone once came and said they were going to cut some branches off a tree, and they said £500. And I went, for 4 branches? And they were like, yeah. And I said, right, you'll get that done in an hour. Because they already have the cutters. So they're not hiring the cutters. They've got the ladder, right? I said, £500 for you to go up a ladder and cut those 4 big branches. And they were like, yeah. And I said, in an hour? They were like, yeah. And I said, where did you get that cost from? And then you can see them trying to defend themselves. Oh, well, you know. And I'm like, not really. It's a funny one, John, you see, because when someone offers consultation, that is then based on the value of the person and what they bring. So if, say, someone said to me, I'm going to help you to clear your mortgage, right? And I have to pay them a finance person, right? It's going to sort out inheritance tax, your wealth, all of that, right? Accountancy, right? And all of that. And they charge you £500, or a lawyer, right? A solicitor. A solicitor might say, right, we're going to have a meeting for 1 hour and it's £300. Because it's someone in a profession or someone who's skilled, and you're getting out of them what you might not get from someone else, you pay it. But when someone pops up and goes, yeah, we're going to cut those 4 branches, it will take us an hour, and they want £500. And I'm like, if they were hiring equipment, I'd go, okay, I kind of get it. But it's not. And I'm going, what the heck? That just does not make sense. So I do kind of, hey, Michael, how you doing? How are you doing? Andrew, updating a client site in staging, but one of the pages doesn't seem to have an SS. Ooh. Have you reached out to them? Have you reached out to their host provider? Brian does mention free SSL certificates. I have to admit, I hate having to install and sort that out when you got to go via the host and go through to their file and then you got to stick it in and all. I hate doing that. I prefer it where it's always in there. Well, that's the thing, Brian. Well, the thing is, Brian, I didn't have the so my problem was that to do it, I would need to have a big ladder, right? But here's the other thing, right? They were not getting rid of the branches. I was going to get rid of the branches myself. So I wasn't even paying them to get rid of the branches. All I needed was to cut. So my problem is I'm going up the ladder and then cutting it. That was my problem with doing that. But they had the right ladder kind of thing. Trust me, right? Let me tell you now. These people were not. They were not what I would call skilled. I would not call them skilled at all. Michael, one of my clients asked to pay later. It's now all... Oh, man. Okay, so how would you handle Michael Forster's question there? So he says, the client asked to pay later. It's 1 month overdue. Where is the website live? Is the website live? Have they got admin access to the website? Have you... what's their reason for not paying? What's their reason for not paying? Right, Andrew. It could be a staging site issue. However, I've not come across this problem myself, Andrew, if I'm honest. I've never had that problem myself. Okay. But I would say, though... that I haven't had this problem with the staging sites, so I would say, John did do a video on that. I do recall that. Pez, so have any of you had this problem or come across this as an experience? With where your client's not paid. So Michael says the web shop is online, but they did not sell so many products. Okay, well, that's kind of irrelevant really, because that's between them and conversion. But the web shop is online. Are we talking about a fair amount? Is it 50%? How much of the website build are we talking? And when you go to them, have they told you why they're not paying? What is their basis for not paying? Well, number one, have you got a contract? Number two, which sometimes, I have to be honest, even when you do have a contract, how much are you going to pursue it? But you like to feel they feel pressured into doing it when they have a contract. But what would you do with that? So what would you do? What would you do in that situation? You know, so Brian, have you come across that situation? I mean, with me, I don't release projects until I know I've got the final payment. Because I've had it happen to me years ago where we never got payment ever for it. You know, and it got to the point where it's like, is it worth us going down the legal route? And it was like, can't be asked. You know, forget it. Just move on. You know, I hope the website broke, but I would never, ever support or help them out. So you got to have a think about stuff like that as well. It's a very difficult one, though, with suspending the website if you don't have access to it. You know, if you don't have access to the host or anything. And even then, you got to be very careful. If you log into their host and you suspend it, and you had login for their host, that's a very dangerous area as well, because they could crap on you as well. They could crap all over you for logging in, you know. So unless it's on your host, you got to be a bit careful. They paid for the web shop, but we did more features. What features, though, did you do? Dipanshu, one of my website loop grid gets distorted after making changes to the page. After updating the page, I regenerate. To be honest, though, you should be able to just regenerate and purge the server. The website is on your server. Holy crap, people. The website is on your server. Suspend it. I'm really sorry, but you send them an email and go, look, we really need payment for this. If we don't get payment by Friday, you give them till Thursday. You say, if we don't have payment on Thursday, then Friday at 10 o'clock, whatever, I have to now suspend the website. You've got to make sure, though, that they don't have access to any backups. Because you could suspend it and they could open up a new website on wherever, 123reg, and they could import it. So you now have to... Who has the main admin rights for the website? Who has the main admin rights for the website? You or them? You or them, right? Because if they don't pay and you have the main admin rights, I would remove them as admin. Remove them as admin. Tell them they've got to pay. If they don't pay, the website is suspended. Right? That's it. End of. They don't pay, fine. Website's gone. You don't even keep a backup. Website is gone. You delete it. Gone. Because if you allow them to have admin access, they could go in and get a backup with all-in-one migration or updraft or something. They could get a backup, say goodbye, and go elsewhere. So you got to watch out for that. Mark Ware says, I got a mega menu on my website, but I've been advised. Not really. Mega menus are fine. Just make sure you put in a menu and hide it so that it still gets picked up by the site indexing and search engines. You know, but if you've got access, yeah. So Michael, like I said, right, yeah, it's on your server. You remove them, okay, and to be honest, Halal, I wouldn't do that yet because you know what? Let me tell you why I wouldn't put in a please pay banner. Let me tell you why. They could then say that we lost out on sales because you did that. Very difficult to prove, but then they could have a right to get some monetary, like, compensation back off you. So be careful of putting that. Don't put a banner in. Mia makes a good point as well about main admin rights. So Michael says both have admin rights. The question is how many days usually wait until you... well, Michael, how many days has it been? You say 1 month. I would escalate it after 1 week. If I've said them to pay and they've not paid, after 1 week I go, right, look, right? Kind of do that, okay? but you've had 1 month. Give them now until Thursday. Send an email now, right now, okay? Draft it out, write it now. We need to have payment. Remind them how they pay. Send them an official invoice. If the website is not paid, we will have to remove the website on Friday. And make clear, you're not going to make clear the website will be removed and will be removed entirely, right? Okay? Don't just Brian makes a good point. Phone calls as well. Phone call would be a good idea, depending on your relationship with them. Try and speak to them or reach out to them. And then Friday, you get rid of the website. You get rid of it. They've got to make clear. But you do have to also make sure that you had a contract that made absolutely clear that they pay 50% here and 50% at the end. Have you done everything they asked of you? Because they might say, well, the end isn't here yet. We're waiting on you to do something. So when was the end? And if you did everything you had to do within what was agreed, then they need to pay you money. Okay? Deepanshu is right. You could also put a maintenance page, but I do want to stress here that if you do something that was not kind of mentioned in the contract to anywhere, or you didn't give them a pre-warning, they could accuse you of losing sales. And if they accuse you of losing sales, they have a right to compensation, right? So say someone's built a website for me, they're not happy with me, and they go and put a message up, I could say, right, because of you, someone was going to buy off my website, but they didn't. You owe me money. And that's a bit of a grey area and a difficult one, and you may then have to compensate them because they could go down a legal route and say you damaged their reputation, defamation, all of that. Be very careful of that. I have a law degree. I'm just telling you, right? Defamation stretches in many different directions, all right? So be very, very careful of that. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? I'm not going to be on here very long. I am going to jump off very, very soon when some people arrive. However, I don't know where the hell they are. They should have been here now, but they're not here yet, which is a little bit annoying for me. What are you all planning for this week? I mean, I'm planning Cube WP. Once I know I'm okay with it, I'm probably going to plan a Termageddon A to Z. Like from the point of registering, this is where you go to do your generation. This is what you do, X, Y, Z. If you want to become an agency partner where you get the licenses for a really low cut cost, what do you do there? How long does it normally take to be approved as an agency partner as well? How do you go about doing all this stuff? How do you use the cookie consent tool? Is there any impact on your page speed performance? Why am I doing this with my hands? I'm not in a music DJ arena. I can't help myself, right? So I'm going to do a lot of that stuff, but I hope that, that being said, would you want to see a Termageddon A to Z video? It might end up being like 1 hour long, but would you care for that? Would you want to see something that talks about get all your privacy policies for free? Would you like me to do that? And then step by step, this is what you do. This is what you fill out. Here's the waiver. Here's what you share to a client who goes, I don't want a privacy policy. What's the form you give them? How do you protect yourself? Because if they don't go for it, fine, but they need to sign a waiver to show that they didn't want it. They did not want to pay for a Termageddon license, right? The value of that, right? So if you want me to do that, I will do that. I've got a feeling Brian would like to see that because he said, smash the like button. Nice one, Andrew. So this is that primary school with their... Oh, no, you're going to help. I thought you meant with the website now. The Forest School class. Of course, Beaver Andrew. Andrew Beaver? Andrew Otter? Because you're going to the Forest School class. What are you? Weasel. Are you the Weasel? Weasel Andrew. Yeah, very good, Dipanshu. You got to think about these clauses, right, about fulfillment, or make clear to them prior, you know. And also, I make clear to the clients that, look, your website build, we start Monday, we end on Thursday. If there's any slippage, fine, but the final payment must be done when we get to that point. Make it clear to them in the conversation, put it in the contract. Excellent. I will be definitely looking into Termageddon. Just because Weasel sounds about. I didn't mean that, Andrew. I didn't mean that. Weasel Downey. Downey Weasel. Downey Weasel sounds even more like a con artist, doesn't it? Hey, have you seen Weasel Downey? It does fit, doesn't it? In a weird way. Please don't forget, if you haven't looked at our mastery modules, all right, the prices now are more reflective of GDPR per capita for continents. So, you know, Europe, North America, Oceania, Europe, South America, Asia, Africa. All right. And I hope that for anyone that was put off, I hope that makes it more enticing for you as well. And it means that a lot of you can get in on the act. Sumitra says how to create a button or icon carousel on Elementor or I wouldn't. Number one, I wouldn't do it on a mobile, right? You need to be designing on a laptop or a computer. Okay, trying to design on a mobile is a pain in the ass. You ever try to drag and drop with these? Forget it. How to create a button or icon carousel? Well, it's really easy. Okay, you've got your media carousel. You could drop in a button and then have a link, like an image. You could use a testimonial carousel where you get rid of whatever's and you have a button. You could use a loop grid carousel. I've got videos on this, Sumitru. So if you go do a search for carousel in the Web Squadron YouTube channel, you will see it. In fact, you'll see loads of videos on carousel. So go over there, have a look, and you will see loads of stuff. Sumitru was having a meltdown. Was it? Were they? I've only seen them post a question once. Are they having a meltdown? Sorry, have I missed something? Oh, yes, you've asked it twice. Sorry, I missed the first time, but you've asked it twice. Yeah. So basically, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, though, Dipanshu, it's a funny one, you see, because what you have to kind of get people in India to understand, and this is what I will be doing when I do my video, is if you are a web designer in India and you build for someone in America and they get hit by a policy issue, because you built it, did you advise them of the privacy policy? Because you should be. If you did not advise them, the onus is on you. And because you are the company in India that built it, the website might get fined, but they could go down a very hefty legal route to get some legal dues back from you. So I think, thank you very much, Michael. It was, it bothered me for a while. And then on Friday, I was like, forget it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and we're going to enact it, and I'm going to put it into motion. We're going to do it, okay? We are going to do it because I just didn't feel right not doing it. Just something inside of me was chipping away a little bit. I was about to say something else then. Yeah, Dipanshu, Termageddon. So it's something I am going to try and really nail down, that I think a lot of people in some countries, not just India, but around the world, they kind of go, well, it's not my problem. I built the website. Actually, it is your problem because you need to... You're the expert. You're not just the designer. You're the expert. Client wants a website. You should be talking to them about your keywords. Do you want to pay us to do it or not? Okay, fine. Your privacy policy. You don't want it? Fine. But you got to sign this waiver to make them understand the risks and whatever, right? You know, the menu. If they decide, oh, we're going to have a menu system, but you know that does not look or work well, don't just build it. Advise them. If they want it and you did your best, You told them if the website don't work or it don't convert, it's not on me. I did try and advise you. Fine, you go and do that. That is different. Yeah, that is different. But that is why Dipanshu, I mean, thank you for raising that, because I was going to mention stuff about you need to think about this, but now I think I will be a little bit more forceful on, if you're based in somewhere in the world and you're building a website for someone else, and you don't really care about GDPR or all of that in your country or where you work, you need to take it seriously, because when that company gets fined, and it's a $10,000 fine, they're coming after you. And you might never pay and get away with it. Yay! Or they come after you. And you are not going to be able to get away with, well, you didn't ask for it. It wasn't in the spec. You're the web designer. You're the developer. You're the one that says you're the expert. You're the one that says you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years experience. You should be advising. So I will make sure I try and stitch that into the video somewhere. We've been live now for, wow, a very long time. So I am going to now say goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Your head on a pike. Absolutely. Sometimes it'd be quite nice if my head was on the pike. People could take photos of it. I'm going to say goodbye now. So I hope you hit the like button. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've done a bit of we were quite harsh. I was harsh, not you. I was a bit harsh on that website for Mohit, but very brave on him. And I really hope he goes away and learns from that. I was playing around with CubeWP, looking at the settings, and I'm going to hopefully do a video on that later on this week once I've played around with it a little bit more. And yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Dipanshu's now thinking, I need to add more clauses. I think you do. Well, not really, Dipanshu. You need to get them to sign a waiver form. The clauses is one thing. The waiver form is another thing. All right, everyone, take care. I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to go do a little bit of running. And then I'm going to crack on with looking at CubeWP a little bit more. Take care. Catch you later. See you soon. Bye.